I knew something had snapped the moment she threw the car keys at the wall and screamed at me to go alone. Her voice echoed in the living room like a crack in glass, sharp, sudden, impossible to undo. And all I could think in that moment was how strange it felt that anger finally made her honest. Because for months she hadn't been. I just stood there, hands still in my pockets, watching her chest rise and fall as if she'd been waiting for this explosion. Maybe she had. Maybe I had too. "Go on your trip alone," she yelled again, louder this time, like she wanted the neighbors to hear. "I don't care anymore." I swallowed hard. My tongue felt heavy, but the words that came out of me were steady, almost calm. "Your sister's already packing." Silence. Not the kind that fills a room, this one hollowed it out. Her lips parted but no sound came. It was the first time in months she had nothing to say. People think betrayal starts with the act itself, but that's a lie. It starts with small things. A missing smile, a phone flipped face down, a shift in tone when someone says a name they shouldn't care about. For me, it began one night when I woke up and found our bedroom door slightly open. She wasn't next to me. I heard her voice in the hallway, soft and hurried. I thought she was crying. But then she whispered something. Something meant to sound comforting, intimate. And it wasn't my name. She lied easily when I confronted her. It was just a friend from work. It was about a project deadline. "You're overthinking again." And I believed her because loving someone makes you stupid in ways pride can't save you from. But her sister didn't lie as easily. It started accidentally. A message from her at midnight. "Is everything okay between you two?" When I asked why, she panicked, backpedaled, said it was nothing. But it wasn't nothing. Nothing doesn't make someone ask that at midnight. Over the next few weeks she told me pieces, hesitant, guilty, fragmented pieces. She wasn't betraying her sister. She was protecting me. She didn't want me walking blind into a world everyone else already knew. Everyone else. That phrase still stings. Her sister never told me outright, but she told me enough for me to see clearly. Enough for me to watch my wife with new eyes. The late nights, the sudden attention to her appearance, the tired excuses about work, the coldness that felt rehearsed. Enough for me to know I wasn't insane. The trip was supposed to be a reset. A way to reconnect after months of distance. I booked it as a peace offering, even though deep down I already knew peace wasn't coming. But she didn't know her sister was coming with me. She didn't know because it wasn't planned. It happened the night before when her sister, eyes red, voice trembling, said, "You shouldn't go alone. You shouldn't go with her either." I asked her why she cared so much. She looked at me for a long time, then whispered, "Because I can't watch you suffer like this. Not when she's not even trying." When she offered to come, it wasn't romantic, not intentional, not some scandal waiting to happen. It was two hurt people choosing not to break alone. And yet I knew how it would look. How she would take it. Maybe that's why I said it. Maybe I wanted her to feel even a fraction of what I'd felt. She stared at me now, eyes wide with disbelief and fear. Actual fear. What do you mean she's packing?" she asked, voice cracking. "You heard me," I said quietly. "You're taking my sister on our trip?" I almost laughed, not out of humor but exhaustion. "Our trip? You told me to go alone 5 seconds ago." "That's not. You know I didn't mean." She stepped closer, reaching for my arm. I stepped back. For the first time she seemed small. Unsure. Human. "You're twisting this," she whispered, but her eyes were darting. I could see the gears turning, the panic rising. She wasn't worried about me. She was worried her sister finally told the truth. Her voice dropped. "Did she say something to you?" I didn't answer immediately. I wanted her to feel the silence. To drown in it the way I had for months. Her breathing quickened. "She's lying. Whatever she told you, it's not true." I looked at her, really looked at her. And it hit me how easy the lies came to her now. How natural. "Then why do you look guilty?" I asked softly. Her face crumbled. Not into tears, she wasn't that kind of guilty. No, she collapsed into anger again, the kind used to hide fear. "You're unbelievable," she snapped. "You'd rather believe her than your own wife?" "My wife." I repeated. "Is that what you've been? For months?" "A wife." She flinched like I'd struck her. Good. Words were all I had left. She had taken everything else from me piece by piece. She tried to argue, but the desperation in her voice didn't move me anymore. Every excuse sounded like a practice line from a script she'd worn thin. It wasn't like that. You're making assumptions. You're being manipulated. I let her speak until she ran out of lies. Then I said quietly, I'm leaving in 20 minutes. If you want to talk, be honest for once. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. Nothing came out. Honesty wasn't a language she spoke anymore. After a long minute, she sat down on the couch, covering her face with her hands. I never meant to hurt you, she whispered. But she had. Not with one big choice but 1,000 small ones. I picked up my bag. Her sister was already outside waiting in the car. When I reached the door, she finally looked up. Her eyes were wet, not from remorse but from losing control. Are you really leaving with her? I'm leaving, I said. Who I leave with is just a detail. She didn't chase me. She didn't confess. She didn't fight for us. And maybe that was the answer I needed all along. On the drive, her sister didn't speak. She just stared out the window with guilt written all over her face. Finally she whispered, I'm sorry. I shook my head. You didn't break anything. You just stopped hiding what was already broken. She didn't look relieved. She looked sad, deep, quiet sadness for something neither of us could fix. As the city faded behind us, I felt anger soften, not disappear but loosen its grip on my throat. This wasn't revenge. Not really. It was release. By the time we reached the highway, I realized something. I wasn't running from her. I was finally running toward myself. And for the first time in months, that felt like enough.